I'm doing good, Chris. Can you hear me?
Big win today. There you go. let's do it again. Sorry, new software, folks. New software. We're trying to do something new here, so we'll just kick it off from the beginning. Hey, Heidi Ho, Lions fans! Welcome to the Detroit Lions podcast. This is episode 452. This is the official Detroit Lions podcast for Reddit. I am your dashing host, Chris, and with me is my good friend and co-host, Andy, also known as the Sandman. How you doing, brother? Yes. What was the most stressful part for you?
Offense looked horrible. There was, and honestly, we're gonna have to go back and look and find out exactly how much of it was just defense being awesome versus the Lions not having a good game plan or whatever. But a win's a win, baby.
A win is a win indeed. Okay, we're trying to work the echo out. We may be stuck with the echo here today. We got we're trying some new software out. It's a little bit frustrating to make this whole thing work, and this is kind of part of the whole big changeover. So, Andy, I apologize to your echoey ears, but this might be the way we have to go. While we're doing it, I might try to make some changes in the background, so we'll see if I can fix that and get rid of your echo. My mic might get a little worse, though, along the way, so if that happens, I apologize, everybody. It's the way we'll have to go. All right, let's talk about this. We've got a lot going on. Let's see. We had a Lions win today, which was overall really good for the entirety of the team, and it was a close one. Mm-hmm. Holy moly, brother. That one was to the wire. The Lions looked flat a lot of the day. Jerry got his first interception. A lot of really, really good things came out of this, but they just never had that life that we've seen from the Lions the last couple games, and they were able to pull it out in the end, but this one was a little bit on the frustrating side.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think overall the Lions lose games like this. In our fandom, the Lions haven't won games like this. The close games, the ugly games. Like even the end of this game kind of had a little bit of that feel with that crazy last-minute throw. But,
yeah.
Jared Goff said it in a presser earlier in the year. He said, good teams get luck. Good teams find luck. And that's just the way it is. And the Lions found a way to get a little bit of luck with the missed field goal. There's a couple other little things that kind of happened, and they were able to eke it out. And at the end of the year, hell, a week from now, we're not going to be thinking about how we almost lost to the Jets or how close this game was. We're going to be thinking about how we won and how now we're trending towards playoffs.
Yeah, when we're in the playoffs, playing that first game, thinking about that first wild card victory, nobody's going to be thinking about the Jets. Nobody in Detroit is going to be thinking about that Jets. We just came in. We got the audio working. Thank you, everyone, for just sticking with us for that. Again, this is some new software, and it's the first time we're using it, so it's really unfamiliar. It's really, really good. We've talked about the 4K upgrade. This is the big try before we buy. This is something we're like I said, we're trying out. I'm trying it remote because this is going to be something we use at the Senior Bowl as well if everything works out. So, and it's a significant investment in the software. So this is our trying to make it go thing. So there may be a couple of hiccups along the way, but thanks for riding it out with us. Okay. Can we talk Jerry Jacobs, please?
Oh,
pretty please.
I guess.
You've heard of him before, right?
He's made an appearance in my brain a couple of times. Yeah.
Oh man, did he do it today or what, bro?
I would make a firm argument that Jerry Jacobs is the Lions' #1 cornerback.
I
don't know if I would even say it's super close. I think Jeff Okudah, as the first number 3 overall pick, gets all the accolades, gets all that. But in reality, I think that this is Jerry Jacobs handling more of the load of tackling the harder receivers consistently.
He wasn't.
And he shows up and plays.
Yep, he wasn't perfect out there today. Jeff Okuda was not perfect either. Jeff Okuda, I felt like, had some bigger misses. Again, though, across the board, they really had some difficulty just finding that juice today. Romeo Okwara didn't. 2 sacks for him. I was so glad to see my guy back. A big boy coming back from an Achilles like that. Oh, man. Oh, that was just so good to see him be able to pull it back together and get out there and play so well. What is this? He's been active for 3 games, but this is his 2nd game back, right?
Yeah, I think it's his 2nd real game action.
Yeah.
And he saw today.
He did.
They're not protecting him the way that they're protecting Jamo. We saw limited snaps week 1. I'm interested to see what the snap count is, but I would think that he played at least 30 to 40% of the snaps.
Yeah,
which is a lot on defensive line.
Yeah, I would agree. Lots of stuff to talk about in today's show. We're going to get Dan Campbell's presser in here like we always do. Now, this is going to be again. We're trying some new software. We're working on this, and you guys are working with us and appreciate it. We're going to pull that in. We're going to see how that works. It's a little bit different. None of this is the buttons and all that haven't quite been perfected, but boy, oh boy, we got it going on. Big question from Nick Rodriguez. What song are you going to use in the Lions playoff slow lights, Sandman?
Probably just going to leave it quiet, like Yokozuma's walkout music, so we can all bask in the glory of the win without any audio interference.
I love it. Okay.
Gotta bring the Yokozuna jokes in.
Let's talk about the offense. There's a lot of talk about Jared Goff every week. Jared Goff is the guy. I mean, as a quarterback, he's the guy. He's going to be here next year. There's no question. I don't see you pulling him out. And there's a lot of people that are going to yell about Jared Goff today. But I think, the drop passes, what it was at 5 drop passes, everybody seemed flat, offense, defense. And I want to go to one thing that everybody's going to talk about, and you gave me a little bit of a slap down when I talked about it earlier before we started. And I'll deserve it, whatever, okay, I'll take it. But let's talk about it. The short pass, the pass that didn't quite get to Jamo, and what in the heck was going on with Goff there? He couldn't deliver ball.
Yeah, I don't think that throws as bad as people are making it out to be. I'm not saying it was a good throw. It wasn't a good.
Okay.
But by the time that Jameson Williams got open, he was at the 10-yard line running full speed. By the time Jared Goff had thrown the ball, if everything had stayed the same, it would have been a tiptoe back of end zone type of throw.
Okay.
There's an argument to be made that if that's the case, don't throw that ball, but
yeah,
I think honestly, I think still a touchdown if their player Reed doesn't do a fantastic job of sticking his arm in there last second where Jameson Williams' hands were.
Okay, I can go with that.
That's a touchdown. I think I think that's a little blown up.
Yeah, and when you said that, I started thinking about that, and I was like, you know what, Sandman's he's closer to right than my thinking on this, because all you see when you see it is, hey, here's the ball in just short, and Jamo had to stop for it, and Reed got back into the play. It's like, oh, the short ball. But by the time he was open, and you throw the ball like you said, and you throw it far enough, it's going to be downfield. It's going to be downfield, and he's going to be unable to maybe toe tap before he's out the back of the end zone. It's a tough pass, man. That's a tough pass to get just right, because you see him open, and you got to move, and then there's time of the ball through the air and everything else. It's tougher than it looks like, but I think there's something that's going to happen with Goff and Jamo where those passes were going to become more prevalent because of that chemistry, and he's going to know that Jamo's going to pull that deal where he's at 70% and then bust it to 100% and gets his separation.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that will have to come with time. And right now, they're you need to throw Jameson Williams deep balls in your own territory. He's so fast that you really can't utilize him on deep ball threats like from the 50 inward. It's kind of hard. Especially if you're going to go, streaks or long crossers. But yeah, Goff is just going to have to learn that he has to throw it further than he thinks.
Yep.
And Jameson will run under the ball and catch up. Throw it up. That's what Russell Wilson kind of made his career off of, was throwing those moon balls, letting his wide receiver find it and get under it when the defensive back doesn't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think Goff will have to figure that out sooner than later, hopefully.
Yep, for sure. And I think it will. And I think that's one of the things that makes JMO special, and as a wide receiver. It's not just his speed. It's not, that he can get open with his ability running a route and stuff and so on. It's that he cycles that speed. He goes full speed. He goes 60%. He goes 70%. And he uses that vertically to create separation as well. And a quarterback is definitely going to need the help or need that chemistry built with his guy to be able to make that come up and be effective together. He'll get it. And they'll come together, and that'll be fine. We're still watching for the post-game presser. Here we go. And we'll see if when that pops up, we'll be right on it, and we'll get that on the broadcast here for you. It's going to be interesting because we just got to see how to make it work. But it's new software, man. It's the way it is. This is the way of the future. This is 100% though the stuff that's going to get us to that 4K upgrade we've talked about, and we're real close. And I mean, you can already see in Sandman's eyes how beautiful and blue they are right now. You didn't need to see that before. This is part of it. So good stuff coming on. This win, the tough wins feel so much more real. I'm loving this right now from Tony Chase. Yeah, that is for real. This one, you can feel it through the bones. The Jags game was one where it was like, I'm chilling the whole game. I'm good. This is a good ride. Here's a game where you're watching, oh my goodness, but you come out and and I didn't have that SOL feel. I know a lot of people kind of did, got that stress, but I'm in a different spot. The only thing that had me worried about the team in the game today was how flat they were. And I've said it, I've said it a couple times here, but they were just so flat that I was nervous about them being able to put it together. Kenyon, thank you, sir. Go get a celebratory six-pack for a great win and all you did for St. Jude. Very kind of you, super chatting us the 15. Thank you. Very, very nice of you. Yeah, this was good. I got a celebratory six-pack coming from my friends at Total Wine here in Michigan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah. I love that place.
It is heaven on earth.
I'm gonna start out by saying that this was a playoff game. This was a playoff victory against a very good defensive team. Regardless of how their offense looked out there, their defense is insane. And pulling off a win in an ugly manner is what good teams do. And you have to get a few of these. I mean, literally the Chiefs just had one of those today. They almost lost to the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The Chiefs. Right? It's not just... That's just unfathomable. The Texans, who were they chasing last week that they gave a scare to?
I don't remember. But, yeah, the Texans are kind of coming on a little bit. But still, it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs that almost got, they had to take it into overtime. And honestly, a win is a win is a win. It's
it's the nature. Oh, let's see, we got golf coming up, so let me see if I can make this work. Wish me the best of luck, folks. Here we go.
Really redeemed himself for that play earlier in the drive, and he's a lot faster than people now. I think he ran like 4.6 or something, but he can roll. And so when I got to him in open space right there, I'm like, he may score, and he did.
Jared, where's the confidence of this team? It seems like on a lot of games you guys have had to take the ball
Looks like it's working.
Go downfield and score to take the lead ultimately in the final couple of minutes. Where's the level of confidence for this team?
Yeah, it's we said it after the game. A lot of these close games are starting to lean more towards us than they are towards them, and that hasn't always been the case around here. And I think we're starting to believe in each other, and well, not starting to, but we fully believe in each other, and just know somebody's going to make a play to do something right, and that's half the battle, and that's showing off for us a lot right now.
You're a pretty even-keeled guy, but was that as exhilarating for you as it was for a lot of people watching?
Yes, because we hadn't done much offensively the whole game, and specifically in the second half, hadn't really done anything. And I wasn't playing my best ball certainly there in the second half, and felt like okay, here's a drive where we can kind of make up for all lost previously. And Brock made a great play, but yeah, I was fired up, and our whole team was fired up.
About that call from Ben. Sorry if you've been asked already, but pretty crazy call there, just designed perfectly.
Yeah, it's a great call. It's an easy read, easy completion if we do it right, and we did it right. And again, getting a guy like Brock with some speed, didn't know he'd be that open, but when they are, it's pretty good.
About the defense, just the pressure that they've been
Yeah, they're good.
all day. Just facing that defense, what do you think?
Yeah, they're really good. They're really good, and they're one of the top, 5, 6 defenses in the league for a reason, and really good at creating pressure with just 4 guys, and really good at mixing up coverages, and really aggressive. Both corners are really good. Both safeties are really good. Yeah, it's a good group, and they challenged us for most of that game, and we're happy to be able to get away with that.
They've held you out of the end zone that entire game.
Until the last play.
You need that touchdown, right? You need that touchdown, that final drive. So what's the source of confidence in that moment, in that huddle?
Yeah, we know what we need, and we know we've been moving the ball for most of the game. We had good plays, we had explosive plays, we had good drives, but
They keep messing with the auto on their side, folks. Sorry.
Especially in the second half, and knew we needed one play, and there was certainly plays that I wish I would have made a little bit better throughout the game, and would have maybe made a difference there. But when it comes down to it, we made the play that mattered.
And what, if anything, did you say to Brock or he say to you after that first down drop?
Nothing. No, nothing. No, he's level. I trust him, and he's a great player.
We can speak then to the confidence in him to go back to him.
Yeah, he's wide open, and he's a guy that we trust. I mean, yeah, he had a drop, and guys have drops. I had a bunch of missed throws. I had missed reads, but he had a drop, so be it, and come right back to him and made a great play.
This is Wednesday, just about the maturity level of this football team. You talked about a little bit, you had lost a lot of these games, but now you're starting to win. You're learning how to win these games, and for just to pull it out at the end, what does it say about how far this group's come?
Yeah, I think what we said after, you'd rather win ugly than lose pretty, and there was times early in the year where we were winning pretty in certain situations, and then kind of letting it fall away from us towards the end, and I think that's totally flipped where we're at now. We've won some games recently pretty handedly, but we've also won some close games, and won some games on the road close that we had to pull out, and things had to go our way towards the end, and is it going our way, or are we making a play? I lean toward making a play, whether it was a sack on that last drive, or just things we did up front. We're starting to learn how to win, and how to win consistently in close games and tough environments, and yeah, it's a good, mature team now.
You'll be watching the Giants-Commanders game tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll be watching. Again, we win them, we got a good chance. We don't win them, probably don't.
You saw you try to hit Jameson Williams, on that play. Just talk about trying to develop him, the chemistry with him as well, and where do you see him helping you guys for these?
Yeah, I wish I would have thrown it a little bit earlier. I had to move in the pocket a little bit. That's one, missed opportunity I felt like throughout the game I was thinking about. But, him and I are moving along. Yeah, it's much better than it was 2 weeks ago with just understanding his speed and what he's good at and what he likes. And so, yeah, we're moving right along, and it'll only get better from here.
Yes, Ben, earlier this week, just about Khalif's impact.
Yeah,
he had
huge.
a big game, not just in special teams, but on offense. Just one of the more unheralded guys on this offense. What did he give you today?
Yeah, he's a tremendous receiver as well as a punt returner. But when you have a guy that's supposed to be your gadget guy or your punt returner, and you can call choice route to him, like, that's rare. A guy that understands coverage, and a guy that knows where to be and what to do, and is always on time, and is always doing his thing. I spoke about this earlier in the year. Like, him and I have so many reps together. Now he's slid back in the depth chart a little bit because he's punt returning and JMO's back. But when he's out there, it's just like any other guy that I feel confident with, and that gives us a whole lot to have 4 or 5 guys, now 6, that we really feel really good about.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Jared. Appreciate it. You're a good guy, Jared. We'd like to have you on the team.
He said it. He said he wished he had thrown it sooner. It was the delay and him having to climb into the pocket.
Yeah.
That made that throw funky.
Well, and it's the trust, right? I mean, it's knowing your guy. I mean, of course, if he knew JMO was like that, he would have thrown it sooner. And that's that. How about Brock Wright? I mean, could that guy have taken any longer to get that thing to the house?
That's how open he was. They only had to block one for him to go. It's kind of an amazing play, and Twitter. You saw me screaming all game that the Lions needed to do more misdirection and more backside stuff because the Jets were just flowing so well to the ball that none of our were to make super tight throws, and it kind of led to what we were looking at. And the last drive, I mean, the Brock Wright touchdown is a perfect example of that style of defense killer.
Yep.
And they called it at the perfect time.
Yep.
That 4th and 1, it was like a double whammy where they're already flowing to the ball at mock speed, and now they're definitely flowing to the ball at mock speed at 4th and 1. It was a perfect play call. I don't think Ben Johnson had his best game today, but that play call was chef.
Oh man, and it was that was get the wheelbarrow for the balls out too, right? Because I mean, those balls were dropped. Brock had a drop earlier today. I mean, it took a lot to make that call and trust your guys, and they pulled it together. I kind of in hindsight wish Brock had been just a touch slower on that, only because I feel like we could have gotten that 1 second off the clock and they wouldn't have gotten that timeout in, because that was a little bit of a heart stopper, wasn't it?
And I kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit, but Ala the end of that part. They let so time blocking any timeouts. They were playing for the field goal 100%.
Yep.
And then they didn't talk to their guys that, hey, if we 4th and 18 or whatever it is, if we get it, you have to go down to the ground because we have to call a timeout. We need time.
That was, bigness.
Instead, the guy caught it, ran for another 3 seconds, almost ran the working out for them. But, like, that's bad coaching.
I was like, are they doing a hook and ladder here? Is this the hook and ladder for the win? What's the plan? Why are you running around like this?
Yeah, like I said, if Campbell had, and we would have lost.
Ooh. All right, let's tell you what. Let's do some calls. 248-782-8384. 248-782-8384. We'll get you on to the show. Give us a ring, and we'll get you in. Or you can use Skype, and it's all one word: Detroit Lions Podcast. Let's see how this flies, and we'll get you on the show. All right.
Give it a go.
Yeah. See how this all works. It's a lot more than I remember, but I got 2 laptop screens. I got a lot going on. All right. Let's see how this works. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Hey, this is me, Chris.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey.
I'm doing fantastic. That game almost gave me a heart attack, but it went fantastic. So,
what do you got for us, big guy?
So I just wanted to say, I think this might be the best win that we've had all season. Like, there's been games where, like the Jags game where we won big, and we've had some other pretty competitive games. The Green Bay game was obviously nice, beating a rival like that. But man, beating the Jets in December on the road, that's a playoff caliber team. It's a team that's made really, really tough out. They've only given up 1 defensive touchdown, and Wilson's last 2 starts, and that 1 touchdown was the Brock Wright TD at the very end. That team is tough to beat, and in that cold, going on the road, beating them in New York like that in their house. That's a huge win against the playoff caliber team. I think this is probably one of the best wins we've had in maybe since 2014.
Yep.
Just fantastic effort, fantastic grit, toughness, mental discipline.
Yeah,
everything across the board from the entire team today.
I think the thing that makes it so much extra special, and I think about that is, I talk about how flat the team was. How many guys were ill? I mean, we're suffering from illness this week, and I think that's a lot of what probably led to their flatness today was the sickness that the team's been fighting. So we'll see. We'll see if they get that spark back. It's a team of grit and energy, and loving your coach and playing for each other. I just think that this was probably a tough week for them, and good teams come together and win when things are tough, and that's what the Lions did this week, and that's something they haven't done for a lot of years. So it's a good one to see. Chris, thanks for the call. We're going to let you go. We're going to grab someone else here shortly. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. 248-782-8384. That's one of the things is I talked about how flat they were all day. It really occurred to me that I think a lot of the situation is that they were so many guys that were sick.
Yeah, and there were times where everybody looked slow. The offensive line looked a little weird at times. I tweeted about it. But Jonah Jackson had a really weird stance today. I'm not sure if he's slightly injured or if, what the deal with that was. But he was basically in a tackle stance at guard while playing on passing downs. It was very, very odd. And, I think something felt off today, for sure. I don't know what it was, but the Lions felt a little off.
Yeah.
But when you can win games while being off or while not being at your best, that's the sign of a good NFL team.
Yeah.
That's consistently what good NFL teams do. They take those 2 to 3 swing games a year and they convert them into wins.
KC today. Right? I mean, that's likely. There's no way that the Houston Texans are close to beating the Chiefs in any kind of talent competition, other than maybe salsa dancing. Otherwise, there's no chance. And for them to play that close today, it's one of those games, right? It's the any given Sunday thing. And this is the difference with the Lions right now. On that any given Sunday, they still have a fighting chance. Where in the old days, on any given Sunday, they would get the snot beat out of them. And it would be like a most depressing Sunday and how many barrels of whiskey you're going to drink kind of a thing. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
It's me.
Hey, how you doing, mate?
Hey, man. Hey, this is Blue Shark ND. First time calling.
Hey, how you doing, Blue Shark?
Good, man. I'm not drinking anything because I am high on life, and that was a fantastic win for the Lions. I think a win is a win, and if you want to pick apart things that weren't perfect, it was a win. I'll take it. An ugly win is better than an ugly win is better than some kind of moral victory any day.
Oh,
so I am so happy to see that.
Yeah, no.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Oh no, appreciate you, man. It's anytime you can pull a victory out, it's a happy day. It's a happy day. So, love to see it, man. That's a good kind of thing. Really quick, I know Coach is on. We're not pulling him in. We will get him in shortly, and I know you guys love to see your name up in lights when you're putting your chats on. It just took a whole lot of extra effort that I didn't have time to do, but it'll be in the next show. I promise. We'll have your chat back in there. It's just I literally built this whole scene to replicate the old one in the last 2 days. I built it in a whole different tool. So work with me here a little bit. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
What's going on, Lions Nation? It's Mo from the Creek.
Mo
What's going on?
from the Creek. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm happier than Jason Voorhees getting a machete for Christmas, baby. Let's go.
Oh, man, I love it.
Yeah, man. The game was it was flat. It was one of those games like somebody's gonna win off a possession of field, a turnover. It was just too flat the whole fourth quarter. And then when you go 4th and inches and you call that type of play, you got everybody in the box. It's like, all right, what are we gonna do? So that was a good win. That definitely ain't the same old Lions to beat. You
got Don and
would have packed it up.
You got Don in the chat right now saying good teams win ugly games, and the Lions used to just back their way into a win, right? Something like this. It would be like, wow, okay, this is a different kind of team. They won an ugly game. They went out and won it. Jerry's first interception, can't let that go, right? That's awesome. Jerry did what he had to do. Defense got hurt. Will Harris got hurt. I mean, they let some really bad throws for too many yards get caught.
Right.
But they pulled it together.
I'm just glad that how many seasons have we been on the other end of that last minute touchdown? So I'm happy to be on the other end and getting the touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, that was what was it? 3 minutes left? 3 minutes something when we got that ball. That was they had a lot of time to work with. I was nervous, but They did it.
Right.
They did it.
Right.
They had Zach Wilson. That's the thing. And I think that's where Riz was probably completely right about if Zach Wilson starts this game, we win. If either of the other guys do, we could be in trouble.
Right. And, to me, Zach Wilson was just, to me, it seems like he was throwing Hail Marys all game, and it was just landing. It was just like, how are they catching these balls?
Yeah.
Absolutely. For real.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be a defensive back in the NFL.
So I just wanted to call in, give love to Lions Nation. Super Bowl, baby! No.
Hey, really quick, Mo, I want to ask you something because it's almost like I want to make sure. Can you hear Sandman? We talk. Say Sandman. Say hey to Mo for me.
Mo.
Could you hear that at all?
I didn't hear that.
All right. Okay.
I was making all these great points.
He was saying
Sandman,
he was saying great things to you, bro, and I mean he was really complimenting you.
Sandman, when I call in next week, baby. Just remember everything you just said. Tell me again next Sunday.
Will do, Mo. When you rewatch this, you'll get it.
You'll get it.
On YouTube.com.
He's got it. When you rewatch it, you'll get it, Mo. All right. This, like I said, this is like a whole new $1 million package that we're working through. And there's a couple things that we had to figure out, but this is kind of a test run. We wanted to get it in.
Hey, man,
go ahead, bro.
Hey, if we can roll 0-16, we can definitely roll with the Detroit Lions podcast on new equipment. So we riding with you to get through all this.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. No, it's good. I mean, look, you get to see Andy looking so good. I mean, already though. I mean, look at that. So we'll get there. We'll get there. It's
right.
just we got
Much
this.
love to you guys.
All right, you too, Joe. Mo, thank you, brother. All right, we'll see you. All right. Well, I can hear you, Andy. I can hear you.
Well, that's good.
And all the other people can hear you. It's just the people that call that can't. I'll work on it.
It's all right. I'll take a nap while you handle the callers. No big deal. I was gonna say though that it's incredibly hard to play defensive back in the NFL. And it's very hard to play defensive back when the quarterback kind of escapes the pocket and is willing to throw those ugly style passes.
Yeah.
It's like those floaters, those where the wide receiver can see the ball and you can't necessarily.
Yep.
That's hard to. You start to be a little bit better.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, caller, go ahead and turn it down in the background a little bit, but let's go for this. How you doing? How much have you had to drink? Caller.
Well, just having lunch here, Chris, out in California.
Oh, how you doing?
Want to really thank you for the show, and I'm doing great. Really frustrated because I can't watch the Lions out here, so I'm watching the radio broadcast and I'm watching the show afterwards because they're not showing it out here.
They're not showing it. Did I lose you? I think I lost him.
Oh no.
Wah, wah, wah. That one wasn't on me. I just want you to know. That one wasn't on me. I'll own the stuff that I own, but that one wasn't me. Oh man, so yeah, I'm getting crap for wearing my Gator shirt today. You gotta go with what you got. All right.
Yeah, let me ask Chad. While I'm doing this, I can't really be on Twitter or checking anything. Have we heard anything about number 5? What happened to his shoulder? Broken collarbone kind of play, but
for Deshaun Elliott.
Hey, Chris, I'm back.
Hey, caller. Oh. How you doing? We lost you there for a second, bro. So you said the Lions game wasn't on the West Coast?
Yeah. I mean, most of the Lions game, right? You can't watch it with anything paid. So I end up watching most of the games, listening to the games on the radio, and then watching the highlights afterwards, watching the show afterwards. The Sportline podcast. It's frustrating, but it's great to kind of listen to the radio games and have us pull out a victory like we just did at the last second.
Well, I'll tell you, if you do the NFL Plus app, you can listen to Dan call the games. And I try to, when I can, I get the app.
That's exactly what I've been doing.
Yeah. And then there's this other thing. I've heard something called sportsurge.net or something like that. where you can find all kinds of sports things that they don't charge you for, and then you can your NFL app, and then you can watch a line or some there's all kinds of different sports available, and you can watch and hear it get the best possible experience.
Yeah. I just want to say, didn't lose faith with the Lions when they were 1-6. Everyone was kind of, trashing the team. I felt like we come forward. And I think the most important thing for me is that we got a team with character. You see other teams having issues with their players and, infighting and, the Jets quarterback issue and all that. And the Lions just seem like a solid team. They're playing like a team. So I'm excited for this year, excited for next year as well.
Got it. Okay. We'll see it. I think Goff's got it this year. I think more time with JMO and even Chark, you could see as they were starting to get spent time. It took 6 games, which I feel like quarterback and receiver 6 games is probably reasonable for 2 guys to kind of find their timing and the rhythm together. I don't know. We'll see. Goff's our guy. Goff is the guy, and he's the one that's going to carry this team. We'll probably wind up with a backup somewhere in the off season. I think there's guys out there that can do the job, but I'm excited. Playoffs are not this year, like you said. Starting out 1-6 was a real easy jumping off point for a lot of people. Where they are now and what they've come back from shows a lot about what this team's made of and what Goff himself is made of too. As a player, I think a lot of guys, Goff could have easily taken the money, could have easily walked off the field and said thanks. He's got the fiance, he's got the money. He doesn't need any of the rest of it. He really doesn't. But he's got that competitive spirit, and he held out and he ran. He kept playing, giving it his all, and here we are, 7-7, looking at a playoff berth potentially. That's a lot to talk about for a Lions team that had 3 wins last year. We're over double our win count. We're over the consensus win count for the beginning of the year, and we still got games left to play. This team walks into the playoffs. And I don't want to say walks, but this team makes the playoffs. And I don't know. I mean, if this team makes the playoffs, I absolutely believe that Dan Campbell should win Coach of the Year from coming off of a 3-win season. I just think that's a hell of a turnaround in a single year. All right, caller, we'll let you go, man. Thank you. All right, that was it.
Got some reports of us breaking up pretty bad. I don't know if I'm still breaking up or not, but
interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I have to admit, I don't have the very best internet where I'm at, and it's all wireless and not wired, so that may have something to do with it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll play with your thing. Maybe see if we can figure something out a little bit with the trim your bandwidth a little bit. You'll still be beautiful, I promise, Andrew.
Trim me down.
All right, so there we go. We got another call coming in, Andy. I'm going to try to translate for you. See if you have anything super wise you want to talk about. Definitely let me know.
All right.
Hey, caller.
See how it goes.
How you doing? How much you had to drink? What's your name? That's the other one. Sorry.
Hey, I'm sorry. You're cutting out pretty bad there. What was that?
Oh, what's your name and how much have you had to drink?
Oh, my name's Jake, and I've had about 3 cocktails made by myself, so it's probably about 6 cocktails.
Oh, that's good. There you go. It's always good when 3 equals 6 on the cocktail count.
Exactly. So I just wanted to call in and say, I grew up my entire childhood, young adult life. I was always a Chicago Bears fan. Always been a Bears fan through and through, for better or for worse. Last year, I fell in love with Detroit. I don't know what it is. Oh, I do know what it is. I mean, how can you not cheer for these guys? But I fell in love with the team, and I've had more fun watching Lions games than Bears games this year.
Hell yeah.
What was it that caused you to change? I mean, let me ask you this first. Where do you live at? Like what? And don't tell me your address, but generally, I mean, are you a Chicago person, a Detroit person? You live in Maine? Where are you at generally?
So my wife is from Detroit originally. We live in Florida though. I'm from Colorado originally, but we're down in Florida now.
Got it. Yeah, no. What part of Florida you at? I'm Tampa area myself.
Right. Right outside of Disney, that area.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, I'm in Tampa. I'm not now. I'm in Michigan, and that's why I got this internet like this, I guess.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, I didn't mean to dog your internet or anything. Yeah. No, it's something. I mean, like you think about changing like that, and you're a Chicago guy, and you jumped over from Colorado guy who likes Chicago and then came over to Detroit. And you're right, it's hard not to like these guys. I mean, it's the whole underdog, it's the whole coming back, and it's the whole, I think there's going to be a giant bandwagon for a team like the Detroit Lions. I really do. We've talked about this years ago. Like, what happens if this team gets good and the fan base swells? I mean, you saw it with the Seahawks. They became a bunch of knuckleheads. You see it with a lot of fan bases. They become jerks when you start winning. But I kind of feel like, you get a year if you're a Lions fan to just rub it in anybody's face who will listen. I just feel like if you win a Super Bowl and you're the Lions, it's like, okay, you get a free pass. After all, 60-some years, 60,000 years, it's yours to give away. But I
got to start taking documented photos of my Lions merch.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll attribute a part of it to watching them on the field, but a big part of it's just their social media presence has been great. I mean, some of these post-game locker room clips with Dan Campbell, just unbelievable chemistry in that room.
Yeah. Those guys live and die together and for each other. It's really something good. They got a good thing going, and I would love to have a team like that. I would love to play on a team like that. That would be just even in my work, that would have. I have a great team, and I don't know if any people listen, but I do have a great team of people that I generally really do enjoy working with, and I've got the best situation I can remember having in 25 years of work. But it's still nothing like what you see in that Lions locker room. That is a group of guys that get along and that work and live and die for each other like no one that I've seen ages.
It feels like the game comes first.
Yeah. All right, caller, I'm going to let you go. We got some other people we want to get in. All right? Appreciate you calling, though.
Absolutely. Have a great one, guys. I'm going to keep watching the show.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you. All right. Let's see. I just missed you, John. Give us another shot. Here we go. They just keep flying. They keep flying. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink? Hello, caller.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. We're making it work. Living the dream here.
Oh yeah. I'm actually on the podcast.
Yes, you are.
Oh, man, I can't believe it. I feel like I'm talking to a couple of celebrities right now.
Oh, I don't know about that. A couple of public drinkers, maybe. Let me, really quick while I got you here, I'm going to use you, caller, and I apologize, but Loretto had a really good one. What's the narrative? Everyone told us Goff doesn't win these games. It was everyone else. Now the Lions don't have close to the Rams 2018 talent. What's the deal? It's a good question. We're not supposed to win those games, and yet here he did. He turned it up.
Mm-hmm.
You with me, caller?
Yeah, I'm with you. It sounds kind of muffled there.
Yeah, I'm getting that too. That's weird. Go ahead, though. We got you.
Yeah.
You called. You had something you want to talk about.
Yeah, I just obviously I've been a Lions fan for 20-some years, and I just exposed myself to your guys' podcast this year, and it's been great. I've been listening to it after every game, and this is the first time I've called. And today, I just felt like this was the game we were going to lose. Like I watched so many Lions games before, and I was like, it seemed like something was off, and I felt like we were going to lose this one. And then I guess this is the brand new Lions now. We don't lose these games anymore, even though the penalties were going against us and all that. I don't know. I couldn't believe we pulled it off.
Yeah. No, this is absolutely the same old Lions would have lost this one. I'm in such a happy place to watch a team pull a tough one out like this. It's this is good stuff. This is a team that we can do something with as fans, and I think this is a lot of people in the chat. SOL is dead. That whole thing. But I appreciate you finding the show. I appreciate you giving it a listen and spending time with it, man. It's great that you found it and it fits for you. You know, I mean, we're not for everyone. And sometimes the show has some technical stuff like muffled sound, but we try. You know, we do what we can.
I really appreciate you guys doing this every week, and I'm constantly checking Spotify whenever I see a new episode. I listen to it instantly, and it's great. And I'll let you guys go Lions. I hope we can make it to the playoffs.
We got this, brother. We got this.
Go Lions.
Go Lions. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. You okay, Sandman? You haven't been able to talk so much. I'll give you a quick second.
Yeah, I'm just bummed out. I have all these good points to make and nobody to listen to me. It's like, when I was a child again. No, I think, like the one caller brought up how the social media team kind of helped bring him in, convert him as a Bears fan to a Lions fan.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about it, but the Lions have the best social media team in the NFL, and it's not close. I have friends that work for other NFL teams, and it's verified that the Lions do the best job of allowing their team to make good content. So it's not just that they have talented producers and talented camera people, is that the team has to let them have that kind of access.
Yep.
There are entire teams that the media people can't talk to players. They don't get to have outside interviews. They don't, get to have any practice footage or anything like that.
Yep.
And, it does make a difference. I'm sure the Lions social media team would love to hear what that caller had to say, because that's really
exactly
cool.
why they exist, right? And that's them doing their job well. Lions have already beaten Riz's projection. Yes, they have. They have beaten his projection. James Houston has beaten Riz's projection as well. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink?
Hey, Chris. My name is Robert from West Virginia, and I don't drink on Lions games.
Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink? I lost you.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink?
Hey there.
Come on, caller. You
Brandon,
can do this.
calling from...
Oh, go ahead. I got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
Okay. This is Brandon calling from the 906. I've called in a couple times before in the years. But, I just want to say it's real nice seeing the Lions where we are right now. At the beginning of the season, I had them penciled in at 6 wins. So it's all just gravy from here. Even if we don't make the playoffs, like everyone's, crossing their fingers for, it's just great that they're here at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I get called the slappy. I admit I look for the best in a team, and I try to figure out what they're trying to do, and then I kind of evaluate how they're doing against what they're trying to achieve, right? And at the beginning of the year, I was like, this is a 7 to 10 win team. I said 7 is where I'm leaning closer to, but the ceiling is actually pretty high if these guys get together and pull it off. And here we are at 7 wins. I mean, consensus, everyone said 6. And then it was the Kool-Aid drinkers, like to the point, you had some people who were trying to get their feet amputated by the end of the season saying 10 wins in the playoffs. We're looking at it. We're looking at it, man. I don't think that any of that was based in any superior football knowledge or anything, but boy, oh boy, what a heck of a team this is. The rest of the games, I don't want to say they're easy, right? Because they're never easy. If they're easy, the Chiefs would have just frog stomped the Texans today. But you're looking at Carolina, the Bears, and Green Bay, who none of them are super scary teams right now. Sandman, of those, who scares you?
Probably the Bears.
The Bears?
Probably the Bears. I think Justin Fields is a wild card. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's being crowned a little bit early.
I agree. Crowned early.
But that doesn't mean that he's not going to bust out 2 80-yard rushes on you. I think the defense has gotten better than when we played them last time. And I think that now that they've seen it and there's more tape of him doing this week in and week out, that they'd be a little bit more prepared for it. But other teams are preparing for it, and that's not stopping stopping him too much. I think, the Panthers are a pretty good team, but I just, at this point, I'm just excited to be in the realm of playoff possibility.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say that I think they're going to win out, or I don't, but just the fact that they've looked the way they've looked and the way that they've won has been impressive. Just been impressive.
Yeah, no, it has been. The way and he's talking to Colin about the way they won and how impressive it's been. And I kind of think about it, and I get that you don't want to jump on there about, they're going to make the playoffs and win out. But, I mean, the biggest games were this Minnesota game and this Jets game. Those were the scariest ones on the schedule. And since that Giants win, this team has been rolling strong. Looks like we got out of there today without any significant injuries. We got guys that were sick that are supposedly coming back, and we should have, again, we're heading in the right direction when the rest of the league is not. I'm interested. I can see where Justin Fields is scary. Mm-hmm. I love how we played him last time, and I just feel like the team's health, the Bears' health, and the kind of building collapse that's going on just has momentum. You know what I mean? Yep. And I think that's the thing that's really going to be carrying these teams as we start talking about them and when they play the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think what we need to see is an offensive bounce back.
Yeah, the offensive
we need to see another 27-plus point game.
Carolina's the team to get it against.
Yep, and the Bears and the Packers.
Yeah,
we could legitimately end the year with 340.
I really wish I could hear Sandman.
I know. I'm sorry. He can hear you. So
can I just say one more thing and I'll let you go?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
As a Lions fan in the UP, it feels so nice this year.
It does.
To finally talk some shit back to these people. The Packer fans. Oh, I'm sorry. Probably not supposed to swear.
That's all right. That's a good one. It's the C word that's no go. But all right, brother. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for calling.
All right. Thank you.
That's awesome. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink? Caller?
Hello.
I see his name. I don't want to embarrass him or cause problems. He's been calling a lot. All right, we'll try again. Let's do this one. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Hey, it's Jamie from Montana.
Jamie, how are you doing, brother? How you guys feeling?
I am doing great. I'm feeling great here in Kentucky. Just got that win. That was a little scary, a little sketchy because being out of the area, I have to stream the game.
Yep.
So having to jump back and forth between different cheat sites and, holding my breath there for that last second.
At least it didn't freeze with the ball in the air, right?
That would have been horrible. But the reason I'm calling real quick, so I've been listening to a lot of different podcasts, a lot of shows. When do you think the national media's affection, or that may not be the right word, but national media's ability to actually give us credit for doing what we're doing? There's a lot of podcasts, a lot of shows that are still saying things like Vikings lost last week was a loss that they had no right losing. Mm-hmm. The Lions are the Lions. To a lot of national media and local media, it's SOL. When do you think that changes?
Tell you what, we'll take that, because since you can't hear Sandman, but he can hear you, we'll take that call and we'll run with it, all right?
Okay.
All right, buddy.
Talk to you later.
All right, Jeremy. Be well, brother. All right.
Thanks.
All right, Sandman, let's go. When's the national media getting their shite together?
So, I would say that we're in a weird thing where we had it because we were on Hard Knocks. So people had to talk about us.
Yep.
They didn't really have a choice. And so I feel like the Dan Campbell, like all the people that watched saw what Dan Campbell was and what kind of coach he was and what kind of staff he had here. And oddly enough, our hottest coordinator saw almost zero screen time. Ben Johnson wasn't on screen at all, which maybe is good for us. So I feel like we were high, then we went 1-6 and we're low. I think that if we win against Carolina, that's when it's going to get really interesting. When people aren't going to be able to ignore the fact that the Lions could potentially be in the playoffs after going 1-6, after not giving up, after making their way through injuries, after trading according to some national media pundits, their number one weapon in TJ Hawkinson, after giving up.
That was crazy.
I think it's coming. I don't know if I necessarily that attention, but it's there.
That was crazy fun to me, that whole TJ Hawkinson thing. Can you hear that?
No.
You don't hear that,
What am I
right?
supposed to hear? No.
I've got stuff going in 2 ears. It's a little crazy. Did you hear the ding-dong going on there?
No. If you were my audiologist, I'd be really freaked out right now.
I lost you, Andy. Oh, I know why.
Oh, no.
People don't even know how this has to work. Okay, give me 1 second, Andy, because otherwise you're gonna. Everyone else can hear you.
There we go. Oh, failed. We're having some technical problems.
We got this.
We're calling each other here on a mobile phone.
Crazy times. Okay.
Well, if you couldn't hear me, my point was awesome.
I'm sure it was.
Very well received by chat.
All right. Hey, caller, what's your name?
Except for when I say
how much have you had to drink? Hey, Q, how you doing? Now, Sandman's going to do nothing but compliment you, and you're not going to be able to hear him. And I feel terrible for him and you. Yeah, no, this one is big time. Charlotte. Wait, Q, just wait. Let me just get your current assessment of Jared Goff. What do you think of Jared?
Basically, your assessment was like 9 weeks ago. We don't need to draft a quarterback right now. He's fine. He's not a game changer, but like today, when it was time to make a play, he made a play. So, I mean, he didn't play bad. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't play great. He missed J-Mo, but, I mean, he did what he had to do. So, we can keep building talent around him. I know I sound like you right now, but,
keep going.
It takes some people weeks to come around. But, yeah, if we could somehow end up with Jalen Carter, I'm with it. Or, like, we just need help on defense. We may need a CB1 because, yeah. Okuda's good, but we need a shutdown like a Sauce type of guy.
Can you imagine? It's not going to take long, but I'm going to have you eating steak and drinking beer and nothing flat, brother. He's only laughing at me now. If I can get you to come around on Goff, I know I can get you on a steak.
This is I was wrong. Like I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong. Like you were right. Jared Goff is fine for where we are right now. As we build more around him, we can get even better because we're already exceeding like expectations as far as where we were at 1-6. So
yep.
You were right. I admit it. Take my love.
Oh man, I love it. No, I wouldn't give any lumps. I mean, especially when you're saying such nice things, man. Yeah. Now, Andy, you can't hear him, but what he's saying is not nearly so complimentary. I'll just tell you.
Throwing me under the bus.
He's not saying anything wrong.
I just wanted to call in. I just wanted to say that was outstanding, gentlemen. I'll hang up and listen. And, see you guys before the end of the season. Hopefully see everybody in Minnesota for the wild card round.
Oh, God, yeah. Ooh. Oh, my God. You know what my biggest fear is? Is that I'm going to be going to Senior Bowl when the Lions are going to be looking to wrap up the NFC title. No, I'm not that scared, really. But that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, if we could beat, depending on how the seeding shakes out, we could beat Minnesota. We showed we could beat Minnesota in their place. Without Indy, we wouldn't have blown that 33-0 lead, which was terrible.
Wow. Yeah.
And, we can beat Dallas, clearly.
Can you imagine being...
Can
you imagine being Matt Ryan, who's historically has been a great quarterback by all real measurables, and had he been on a good team, probably could have been like almost Hall of Fame caliber, if not Hall of Fame caliber. Instead, you're known for the biggest meltdown in the history of the sport and the most embarrassing Super Bowl meltdown in the history of the sport.
That was pretty bad. But also, Jeff Saturday, okay, it was cute for a couple of weeks, but come on, bro.
They just had to buy. They just had to sell some tickets to the end of the season. Get by.
Yeah.
All right,
I will call from freezing Charlotte next week after the game to give my post-game report.
All right, brother.
Next week.
All right, we'll see you, Q.
All right, Charles.
Love you, brother. We'll see you. Thank you. The life we once knew. Welcome to the DLP Winner Circle. Became members of the channel. Hit me at chris@DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Just send a little quick screenshot of that, and we'll get you access to the Slack for joining as a member. It's a great time. Welcome to DLP Winner Circle, and enjoy that FTP lifestyle little logo with your name there. Enjoy that. These guys played with backups and let 3-back approach make the difference. Yep, that was it. The life we once knew. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Hey, Chris, it's John down in Charlotte. And my new thing is I don't start drinking until the Lions are losing. It's pretty good. Then I had to slam 2 beers. But we made it.
You're saving money, and I'm saving money. I've lost 50 pounds.
Oh, man, Chris. So this intern goes to college, and the audio just goes to shit, huh, man?
Oh, God. I should take a picture of this before I'm done. I've got like 2 laptops, a webcam. It's like I'm listening. It is like the most ghetto setup. I got an AirPod in my ear underneath this headphone to hear what Andy's saying, so you guys don't get an echo. It's crazy stupid. and then
you're doing an admirable job fighting through it for sure.
I just appreciate everyone like listening through it with us and going through this. We're learning so much, and I'm like they're running like A/B tests in the background. When we go to Senior Bowl, well, even before Senior Bowl, I'm going to have this set up in the main studio, and there's no bandwidth issues there. It's going to be rock star shit. But this is going to help us at the Senior Bowl with like the whole bandwidth thing and the setup and all the stuff. It's going to be so much easier. I'm seeing a real beautiful future here. It's just, like you drop a piece of software the first time in front of you, and you're like, okay, now I'm going to use it. It's like, you're not an expert the first time. There's no way.
No,
so I appreciate everyone riding this train with us. It's nice.
Well, like I said, you're doing a great job. And I also really appreciate you standing for hashtag Goff is the guy in the Slack. Can you make Jalen change the channel back from Goff might be the guy? Because I know this wasn't his best game, but Goff did lose us the game. And everyone that doesn't think he's the guy, like, he points to the games where he loses us the game. Well, he didn't do that against a really good defense. And isn't that enough, even though he didn't throw for 300 yards?
And
can we throw for 300 yards against the Jets?
Can we like kind of start poking at another narrative where he has to be surrounded by superstars or they can't win? How many drops were there out there today? How many failures were the part on the people catching the ball that the offense was able to overcome? Again, it's not all Jared Goff, right? There's 11 guys out there in offense that have to play together. And I don't care if you're Matthew Stafford, your guys are dropping the balls, which I'll be. Matthew Stafford had guys dropping balls like crazy and throwing interceptions. It's a tough go. I don't care who you are. So Goff pulled it out today. I mean, this actually may be in Sandman. This is kind of coming to my head right now. This isn't the most beautiful win. this isn't the most, right home kind of a win, but this might be a really big type of signature sort of thing for Jared Goff to walk with this, because he can point at this game and say, I'm your guy. I'm the guy.
To me, this perfect example of what the Lions knew they had with Jared Goff is that when you need a tight game where any mistake is kind of amplified, and we kind of saw it in this game a couple times, where Goff isn't making a major mistake. As I was watching this game, I was thinking, if Matthew Stafford was on this team right now, with the way that the Jets were locking down the wide receivers, Stafford still would have attempted to make those long throws that Goff did not. And so you could say, well, maybe Stafford would have made those and the game wouldn't have been as close. Or you could say that Stafford might have thrown 2 interceptions because he would have been forcing the ball into places where, games like this, you really, it's the team that makes the least amount of mistakes, and turned out to be the Lions today. And I think Jared Goff, for all the bad stuff he had today of not being able to go downfield, it's not all on him. His receivers have to get open, and the Jets have a really good defense. We can't forget that.
Yeah, that Jets, and that Jets defense. I mean, it was it was strength on strength today, right? Their defense against a strong Lions offense, and their crappy offense against our less than stellar defense. You had tweeted early about the stand up against the run and being very similar to the 2014 Lions team.
Yep.
And I don't think that fell apart as the game went on.
No.
They weren't as stout as they played on in the game, but they still very, very strong against the run throughout the game. I got to check out the stats and see what the box score says, but toot
here, but if you go to my YouTube channel and you look up 2014 defensive highlights, you'll see just the amount of penetration and the amount of gap control with penetration that defense had. That's why their run defense was so good. And the last couple of weeks, that's literally what this team has been doing. Isaiah Buggs has been playing out of his mind. He's blowing past the guards and getting into the backfield, making the running back have to make a choice. And most of the time that's go outward to where John Kaminsky or Hutch is out there ready to go, holding the edge, pushing people wide. We have speed on defense now to kind of make up some gaps. And, just especially earlier in this game where they were trying to rush the ball and they were losing yardage every play, it's eerily similar. And that's, a good starting spot for, a defense to kind of show its teeth.
What really shows great class is a caller who can't hear you, but still waits.
I can only say, Andy, everything you're saying is amazing. I have to wholeheartedly agree with it all. This is making up for when I argue with you about your dumb takes on Patricia that I clearly was totally wrong on. So I owe you that probably. And I just wanted to say, the thing I could hope to say, because I didn't say it, was I think you guys were talking about how this was wasn't the prettiest win, but it was a big win.
Yep.
And I think it is, because what I think it is, it's the opposite of that Buffalo game, right? Because that Buffalo game was like a really good team, and they couldn't quite get it done at the end, and the defense at the end, and this was kind of like the exact opposite of that, where the offense at the very end came through. The defense almost didn't come through, but they did. They got it. They kept them out of a drive, used up the time, and missed the field goal. And so, to win on both sides of the ball against a good team, and it was on the road instead of at home like Buffalo was. So I think that is like another, game after game here, we get these things like, first win streak, first this, first that. These teams learning to win and learning to do these things and convincing themselves that they can. And I think this was what they needed to kind of prove that Buffalo game is more of a fluke than a normal thing. So that was, to me, a huge part of it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm going to be at the game here on Christmas Eve down in Charlotte. Really looking forward to it. Hope we get some more Slackers down there. I know we had a good crew from the Slack at the Jets game, so that was great.
Yeah.
And let's go Lions. All right, guys.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling, man. All right, there you go.
Sometimes I get in my talking mood and I forget they can't hear me.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm like, that caller is gonna learn something today from me, and then it's like me talking to my cat, you know.
It's a big crazy trick. When they can't hear you, they got to go back and watch it again. So that's a second view, and it's going to push our ratings through the roof. Hit that like and subscribe button if you don't mind. We appreciate that. That helps us out a great deal. Even when we have these kind of difficulties, we appreciate when you hit those buttons because it helps people find us and helps get the word out there about what we do. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink? Caller?
Almost.
No. He may.
I know Anthony in chat's been wanting to call in. You kept asking what the phone number was.
248-782-8384. 248-782-8384. We'll get you access. Or if you use Skype, use Detroit Lions Podcast, all one word, and it'll get you connected. Hey, caller, what's your name? How much have you had to drink?
Wu-Tang! Wu-Tang! Hey, that was a hell of a win, boys.
I was like,
hey.
Go ahead.
But real talk. I want to hit the Matthew Stafford subject.
Oh,
compared to Jared Goff, man.
Okay.
I think that Jared Goff's more of that Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. Matthew Stafford, he just liked to play he wanted to be a contributor. He didn't want to be a alpha dog, you know. So with the LA Rams, with all the superstars, he got that championship. But I think Jared Goff he's got that more killer in him. Like, you know, he was willing to bang the coach's wife or whatever. You know, I don't know what the situation was. But, I mean, how much more of a killer can you be?
If you're a plumber, you're out there for blood, right? Got that pipe. Yeah, no, that's great. There's something they say if you watch animals, right? If you see a deer, or horses, their eyes are really on their side of their head, so they have a really wide field of view. It's like a defensive thing. And the predators, if you look, their eyes are really at the front of their head. And if you look at Jared Goff, his eyes, straight up front, much more so than Matthew Stafford. So just by biology and, you know, the genetics alone, you can tell that the killer instinct is in Jared Goff. No one's made that argument yet, so it's my
but I got money on Dan Campbell being the coach of the year. DraftKings had him at 100-1, man, or 10-1.
Yeah.
Get on that.
Oh, you only a 10-1, bro. I either it was $10 or $20 on him before the season. It pays out $420. I was like, if I win, I'm going straight to the dispensary, my man.
Hey, Chris, I appreciate you putting all this effort in, man. I know that the 1-6 star was like killer, man. I almost quit listening, but you guys showed your dedication, so I had to follow through and keep on listening. Now they turn things around, man. Super Bowler balls.
Here's the thing, and I'm way ahead of this, but if any coach in my lifetime and team could have done it, this is the one. I'm putting my whole heart in this wagon because these guys just have the growth, the mentality, and I'm going to say the word, the grit to make it happen. I'm ready to get hurt. And if I do, I don't know, man. I don't know how much I have left afterwards, but this is the best, most credible group of people coaching the Lions that I can think of in my lifetime. Excuse me. Let's see. We got another call coming. So you get a celebratory call going on. Hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink so far?
My name's Harold, and I had about a 10-piece chicken today with 2 sides. I'm going to say the Detroit Lions played this game exactly the way we wanted them to play. They played with grit and heart, and they didn't quit on early downs. They do not want to get beat by teams like this. These Jets are not a team that can put up a lot of points. They apparently cannot run the ball against any of our defenses we've had lately. They cannot get up front, just like Saquon Barkley couldn't get up front against us, and any of the other backs that wanted to try to run the ball off tackle and up front into 1 and 2 gaps. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, we stuffed that run, and Sandman, I love watching his tweets during the games because he catches things like the Jonah Jackson stance thing. I didn't catch it. I saw the tweet and I was like laser focused. I was like, God damn it, Sandman should be a coach. he picked that up. But, yeah, no, there was no opportunity. There was no run gaps. They couldn't come to the outside. We protected the edge. We just strung them out to the sideline over and over and over again. They could not get a run game going. And I'm trying to think, who's the last team to really run the ball against the Lions? I mean, it's before the Giants, right? I mean, it's been forever since we've been run on.
Technically, I think it was Chicago.
The Giants did not run the ball at us. Shaquille Barker coming into that game was running for 109 yards a game.
Yeah.
And that was what I thought would possibly lose us that game, and they shut him the fuck down. No way around it. He couldn't go in.
Yes,
and you know what it is? It's Aiden setting the edge. It's the corners coming up and knowing their exact pressures. What are they supposed to do in these situations?
Yep.
Right?
And Sandman's saying it was Justin Fields, right, in Chicago, and I think he's right. I think that's the last time we really got run on, and even then, I mean, it was the Justin show, but otherwise that team was shut down.
They weren't running the ball with their halfback. They were running the ball with their star quarterback that can't really throw the ball downfield.
And that
has to get out of the pressure.
Yep.
Has to run somewhere else because he's getting chased by a whole Lions defense of 13 players.
And when
you got the sideline, that's exactly what happens. You use those 13 men to get that win, just like we did today. And it's impressive. I mean, I haven't seen the Lions play like this. I've been a Lions fan for 35 fucking years. And it's a sad day to see the Lions always losing and losing these close games when they know they can win if they can just move the ball down the field.
Yep.
I appreciate you guys coming down. I'll let you guys get off after that.
All right.
And I'll come on back.
All right. Thank you, brother. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for listening. Appreciate that, man.
Got the fans coming in hot with the 10-piece nugget and the two sides.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm good.
Must have been spicy nuggets.
I wasn't no Wendy's, I'll tell you that much. Okay, we got another one coming. Let's see. We got, hey, caller, what's your name and how much have you had to drink so far?
David, and I've had two weed bowls. No, I've been not drinking today.
Okay, no, that's good. That keeps take care of head, right? Take care of yourself first. What do you got for us today, brother?
Yeah. Oh, well, I hear a lot of people saying, they've been Lions fans for 15, 20, 30, 40 years, and I just moved in the area, Detroit area. I was a Chargers fan before.
Mm-hmm.
So I know pain, but I'm not like this, And I went all in when I moved here with the Detroit Lions, and it's just been painful for the past 5 years. And it's just really good to see a team that's consistent now. I've always believed in Dan Campbell, especially after Matt Patricia, that debacle. So I'm just really happy to see a good team.
Yeah, no. Matt Patricia, I mean, if we think back to that choice, right? I mean, we look at Caldwell, and we were like, we knew what he could do, and I don't, and there's a lot of people that were angry about what happened with Patricia and company.
Yeah,